talk a little bit about Pi abilities. These are the first and third-party PiOS integrations. Ramon talked about native IDE, native marketplace. And I've invited some of our esteemed colleagues here from the Arkus Nexus team. Arkus Nexus is one of our development partners. They've donated some fantastic AI engineers and project managers, including Cyan and Anna here. I'm going to share a little bit about a demo here briefly. But before I do, I want to talk about what we think about when we extend abilities. And first we have to evaluate the use case. Is this a good use for the tool? Is it the right tool for the job? In a land where everybody's trying to shove AI in everything, maybe it doesn't belong in some places. Supporting a new data type, an IMAP export for learning about your personal email history, for example. We may have to implement a new tuning process. Is this RAG? Is this fine tuning? Is this some combination of the both? How can we elicit the best and most accurate responses from these models? And then interfacing with external services is a key element of the ability to reach out into your digital world, into your digital ecosystem, in order to help you there. So we've got a couple examples in POC right now at Quai. Come join us to help us with these and others. The first I'll talk about is a drug interaction screener. This is research in progress from our AI and life sciences work group. And the research, they're going to be publishing a scientific paper on this. Diego Galeno is the leader of this work stream here. He was trying to figure out if a language model could answer some objective questions about drug interaction. And we found it gets it right 50% of the time, which is not great for a personal AI assistant. So what can we do to improve that accuracy? Can we play with the temperature settings? Can we tune it? Can we RAG it? Can we find the right RAG retrieval mechanisms? Are there differences in the retrieval mechanisms that we need to consider? So, just looking at this prompt, is this drug, is this side effect a side effect of that drug? Yes or no? The other comment was it's hard to just have your AI say yes or no. So this is being researched. Before we would commoditize something like this or feel good commoditize something like that, it's good to conduct this baseline. And the second example we have, I've got a little video here, is really a day in the life of Annie and her personal AI assistant. Annie is going to be demonstrating some abilities to help with email communication here. And again, a shout out to the Arkus Nexus team. Other way. There we go. So we're going to start in Annie's inbox. She's an AI developer for Arkus Nexus, and she's a pretty popular person, so she needs some help. What her personal AI assistant is going to do is it's going to look for inbound email. It's going to try to process those, try to divide those up between personal and professional. And how's it going to give her feedback? It's going to add some labels there. Now, personal, professional are Annie's labels. That's how she wanted to do it. This is personal. You can choose your own way to divide and categorize your life. She also wants to generate some draft email replies, play with the generative capability. This is a professional one here regarding a Docker file question. Because this can be augmented with a transcript from a prior conversation, she says, hey, I told that to you yesterday in the suggested response. Ramon's farewell party's coming up as well, and this required both some context about a conversation that Annie had with Ramon previously, as well as some suggestions that Annie would like. And so because the personal AI has some context from a previous discussion and Annie's personal preferences, it can make some suggestions that she would like too. And then this final example, this is another personal email here, and Annie likes to use Calendly. So when she's invited to something, hey, here's my Calendly link, this is how she gets her work done. She doesn't need to go and do a fancy API integration here. What she's actually having her personal AI do is just insert a Calendly link if somebody's asking for an invitation. And I'll remind you all that these are just email drafts. She's not authorizing her personal AI to send anything for her. You could. But she's the pilot. She's not giving up the pilot seat. And so this is just an example of how this is an AI showing up and helping Annie where she gets her work done. So thank you for that. And I wanted to ask both Cyan and Annie a question here. So Annie, you've been really working a lot on this. And I'm just curious, as you've been developing these abilities, some of these abilities are community ideas. Some of the, we've got a big workshop here. What are some of the abilities that you're most excited about for personal AI?
Oh, I think that one of the most ability that I am get got really impressed was about like I can add some context, so my answers are not like plain, so I can add like whatever I want and can give have a kind of a thread through my conversations.
Thank you. Multi-channel communications is key. How do we tie the threads together from all the different communication channels that we maintain relationships on? Cyan, you've been trying to manage this project since the beginning. What are some of the challenges with PMing a AI project like this?
Well, I think the main, the principal one is understanding how everything works or how it should work, because it doesn't work as a regular software development project. I've been working as project manager for the past 5 years on enterprise level projects and startups, and I felt like this was the first time that I was doing project management in a project. Understanding that, well, to me everything sounded magical because everything was like, oh, this prompt do this and this do that and it returns something and it's magic, but it's not like that. So understanding how things work was like the biggest challenge.
Well said. It's not magic. So just to conclude here, what we've really done is we've combined prompt engineering, we've combined personal data. This is actually a style.txt that has some of Annie's tone of voice. So she wanted to feed that in. Hey, try to match this style. And another one of our members pulled down a very cool stylistic sort of structure here that we've been playing with as well. All of this, of course, is something she can combine with her personal data, so her personal AI can then show up in those locations to help her out. So I'll conclude there with just one reminder. We're out here developing applications for personal AI, and personal AI has its place in thinking and feeling. Artificial intelligence is the domain of thinking. Let's leave the domain of feeling up to the humans here. And as we're designing applications, let's try to strike our balance, augmenting our thinking and allowing us to show up better in the world with abilities.